Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to this new course in Cinema 4D where we're going to learn through a simple exercise how to make a sushi dish, okay? We'll have different components like the actual sushi pieces, the chopsticks, a little bottle of soy sauce, yeah, all those delicious things, okay? We'll see what we do, okay? We're going to need Cinema 4D and then Photoshop at the end to finish up the image's details, okay? When it comes to knowledge, well, you don't need to be an expert. It's a basic level course, so if you have just like a little knowledge on this, it's going to be enough. It's not a course for 100% newbies though, okay? Like I said, it's for people who are starting out and want to get better. What we're going to do is pretty simple. Okay, let's get started. First, we're going to open the program, and as you know, we're going to go to Layout, Layout Standard, and we can start adding all the elements. Let's start by creating a wooden board. For this, we're going to choose a cube, and we'll make this cube a little smaller, okay? We're going to scale it with these buttons right here, like this, okay? Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so when you're finished with scaling it, hit this button here, or hit C, to make an editable model. Now we can start modifying the points and the edges and the faces. We're going to apply the points, okay? Let's put the visor on the model layout. Okay? This way we have the elements at hand. Okay, we have them all at hand. Okay, so if we look here, all right, from the different views we have here, we can put on the frontal view. And let's put a clip in this element with this element that goes up to here. Okay, from here to here. Okay. We can also choose a loop clip, so it's easier, much easier, like this. Let's clip here. Okay. Let's put the view back to perspective. And now we'll select the points. For this, you'll remember that we can unmark this square here, this thing here, and that way we can select the elements that aren't visible. So let's go to the frontal visor, grab this point here, and this point here, and also these points that are behind. Now let's scale a little bit. Like this, more or less, okay? Okay. We can also select the top points with this element, okay? The rectangle, so that it's easier to select. And if it's necessary, we can raise the points a little bit or scale it a bit. Okay. Now we're going to make these structures down here. As you can see, they're very simple elements. We're not going to get too complicated. We're going to create another cube that we're going to scale. And remember that these points can be easily scaled. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're going to use this element here to make a Boolean function. A Boolean is a function that allows an element to create like an empty space in another element. So first, we're going to go to the frontal visor to finish positioning these elements well. Okay, these elements here. Okay, like this. Yeah, it's nice. See what I'm doing there? Looks good, right? And also we're going to make it a little bit bigger to make a posterior hole like this, okay, to make a hole. Okay, we're going to put on the frontal view and we're going to duplicate this element with the control key and we're going to position it in the same place. Now we can place these elements, these two elements, into with the board into the Boolean function. Okay, so to do this, we select the three elements and make a Boolean function. Now place these two elements into a group of objects, okay? Place this in the Boolean function with the board as well, okay? And then just put the cube on top like this. If we put the cube underneath, well, this is what would happen. And if we put it on top, well, it looks like, well, what we want it to create the holes. Now we're simply going to choose these nulls and duplicate them with the control key and put them here. Let's get one of the elements, and we're going to make it a little bit smaller, just to adapt it, to accommodate it to its space. Make it a bit less longer as well, okay? Okay, take away the other one, and now we can simply duplicate it with control, and we can position it. We'll put it here, okay? So what we just did, you can also do it with symmetry, okay? So to do that, first, it's quite easy. First, eliminate one of the elements, take the cube out of the null, and simply get the cube and apply a symmetry, okay? Put the cube inside, and as you can see, we've automatically created the symmetry. This is a way of doing it that's a bit more professional, okay? Using our symmetry. Later, obviously, if in this symmetry we mark another plane or another flat object, this symmetry will vary. I mean, clearly. For example, on the XZ axis, it will be applied like this. In this case, the symmetry is on the Z axis, okay? Okay, now we have the board created. So we're going to start with the placemat. To do this, we'll just make another cube. Easy, right? And we'll make a part of the placemat, okay? Just one of the parts. It's quite easy. We'll make a small cube like this one. We'll put it close to the board, okay, more or less here. Okay. So I can do this. Like that. And then from here, from the corners, we'll make it a little shorter. Like that. Okay. We're going to apply a cloner to this element. To do this, we're going to go to MoGraph, and we're going to apply the cloner with the Alt key held. Just put the cube into the cloner, okay? As you can see, it's cloned on this plane, so it's good for us. All right, to do this, let's just place this Y element to 0, and we'll modify the X point, the one we want. Here we have the space, and here we have the number of elements that compose this cloner. For example, we can put 50. And this one here we can make smaller, okay? As you can see, we still need to put in a few more points. So we're going to 85. Let's go with 85. And we'll see more or less where we want our mat to finish, okay? I think here, more or less, like some 100. You know what? Better 120. Yeah, it's perfect. And here the distance, we can put 3.5, for example. And obviously, as we've added more space, we have some components left over. Okay? So let's pull down this counter by hand to see where we want to finish. Okay, great. As you can see, this is just looking a bit too perfect. Just so it has a bit more of like a worn look, we're gonna add some variation to the elements. To do this, we can simply go to MoGraph, and in effect, we're gonna apply like the random effect. This one right here, okay? So we're gonna modify these elements. It does look a little bit untidy. Here you have the strength of this effect. inside the parameters, you have the controllers of this effect. In this case, we'll leave this one at 50. The Y point, well, we're going to leave that at 15. And the Z point, we'll leave that at 177. Let's see. It's better if the Y point that determines whether it goes up or down. Okay? We're going to leave it at 0, as it's a mat that's going to be flat on the board. If there's nothing underneath, that shouldn't change. So if you put it at 0, it's okay. It's great. If you see that this effect is a bit too exaggerated, from here you can lower the intensity and the randomness of the space and the length of the elements, okay? We could even modify a bit and make it a bit less exaggerated, okay? We'll leave it at 50, 60. 50, 0, 60. Okay, so now we just have to grab this cube, and we're going to duplicate it with the control key, and move it, and we're going to spin it. Okay, we're going to turn it around. We're going to keep hold our Alt key, and we can turn it every 10 degrees, and we'll put it at 90. These are the strips that are going to go from point to point. We'll later just use a different color on them, okay? Okay. Okay, we'll drag them like that. Now we'll just have to grab and duplicate with the control key and put them on the other side, okay? Right here, for example. All right, so there we have like the basic structure done. Okay, we'll leave this part here and we'll continue in the next lesson. So I'll see you then. Bye.